This is the high energy portion of the program. Mr. Excitement here. Yeah, I'm from that country, across the Atlantic. You know, the one that didn't shrink by 40% last June 23rd? That's where you start out in your audience. Another microphone here. Yeah. Last year, I reached retirement age. I worked for many years as a simultaneous interpreter, simultan dolmetscher, for a pantomime. Yeah, so I was born in 51. 1951. So I consciously remember a time when there was no Elvis Presley. Yeah, right, who's Elvis Presley? Ask your grandmother. You know, so as I said, people ask me, what is it like to be old? Well, recently I had a near-life experience. It was awesome. This morning, I breathed. Once. I live alone. That's probably not surprising. Just a little over 8.5 years ago, my wife went back to New York. So she lives in New York, and I live here in Munich, alone. When I say something like that, ladies, does this awaken your maternal instincts? Don't you just want to mother me? Don't you just want to take me to your breast? I know, I sure do. At any rate, my wife, as I said, lives in New York. I live here in Munich. Don't ask. Unless you're female, and then after the show, I'll be glad to answer questions at the bar. But it's hard being alone in a place like Munich, and I must admit that once I did try telephone sex. But the holes in the damn thing are just too small. You know, at my age, it's difficult to meet women, so I tried one of those platforms, you know, that bring people together. Some of you belong to that as well. But it was something like Jurassic Park meets Desperate Housewives. This whole idea of older man and younger woman reminds me of the story of the 81-year-old man, widowed. Wife had died a long time ago, and he announces to his sons that he's going to finally remarry. And his new wife is a 21-year-old woman. They say, Dad, you can't do that. It'll be murder. So she dies. I seem to have lost a buttonhole. Can anyone here lend me a buttonhole until the end of the evening? I don't know where I'm going to get a buttonhole at this hour of the night. But that leads me to reflect on buttons, the meanings of buttons. I have come to the conclusion that there are good buttons and there are bad buttons. Now, I can give you an example of a good button. When you buy a shirt, they have a row of buttons, and down at the bottom, they sew on 2 or 3 extra buttons. So in case you lose one, you just take it off and sew it where you need it. Those are good buttons. What's the bad button? The button in the front of men's underpants. It just adds another layer of complexity. Especially when things have to go fast. Now, what I hate is when I go to a public lavatory, I'm looking for the button. And I can't find the button, I'm fiddling down there. And ladies, you don't know this, but guys, you know this. In a public lavatory, there's always at least one guy who looks. I have a feeling he's probably been there 1 or 2 hours, and he just looks. So when I'm fiddling here looking for that damn button, I feel very uncomfortable. I feel like saying, I'm just looking for the button. Oh, is that what you call it? Is it as cute as a button, too? Can I help you? And then the whole ordeal begins again when I'm finished, and then I have to find the button to close it again. And this is where good buttons meet bad buttons. And let me tell you, evil will always prevail. I can't tell you how many times I have buttoned the bottom of my shirt to my underpants. I listen a lot to internet radio, and I like to listen to a station in Berlin, Jazz Radio. They have lots of sponsors, and one of their sponsors, recently I heard a spot, Deutschlands erstes digitales Bestattungshaus. Now what is that? A digital undertaker, a digital mortuary. When you die, does God press the big delete button? What does a digital burial look like? Do you just get vanished into the cloud or something? I don't know. I see a lot of weird stuff here in Germany. 2 weeks ago, I was up in Frankfurt, and I went past a Japanese restaurant, and there was a sign outside, sushi, live. Now, I happen to know that the main ingredient of sushi is dead fish. So what is sushi live? We're coming here from Frankfurt at the Harikari restaurant, and I see the chef is taking out a fillet of mackerel. What's he doing with it? Well, Bob, it seems like he's cutting it on the diagonal and putting some wasabi under it and putting it on rice. That's right, this has been Sushi Live from Frankfurt. I wonder whether this concept could be applied to like other cuisines, like a vegetarian restaurant, broccoli live, or a kosher restaurant, matzo ball live, or maybe here in Munich, Bavarian restaurant, Leberkäse live. I seem to have lost my train of thought, but that's okay, I didn't have a ticket anyway. Sometimes I think it's a very weird world. Sometimes I wonder, am I living in a parallel universe? Or is everybody else living in a parallel universe? I've come to a conclusion, no. I'm living in a perpendicular universe. I pass through everybody else's universe at an angle, stay for a short time, and then go out the other end. And that's what I'm going to do right now. I enjoyed my time passing through your universe. Bye.